Many men know this exact feeling. You sacrifice a lot for the woman you love or are interested in. You really care about her and spend a lot of energy, emotions, and financial resources for her. But sometimes she just disappoints you, ignores you, or even worse, uses you. She takes advantage of your kindness for her own benefit. Have you ever had the feeling that sometimes when she needs your help, she acts nicely, but once she gets what she wants, she starts ignoring you, or leaves you so fast as a balloon disappears in the wind? But how can you avoid giving in to such personalities and be in control? And moreover, how can you avoid ending up in situations like that in this video? We tackle this exact problem with ancient Stoic wisdom, whose founders like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius discovered the answers to these questions already 2,000 years ago. Stoicism teaches us to stay away from the following: 5 behavioral patterns to steer clear of women who are not good for you and of situations in which you end up as the losing part. Let's dissect these short lessons together one by one, as hearing these might give you the necessary wake-up call. Consider also sharing this video with this one friend of yours you think needed to hear this a long time ago. Let's dive in. The first behavior Stoicism urges you to reconsider is don't change your character or personality just to play a certain role in someone else's life. It's neither worth it nor maintainable in the long run. It's like continuing to wear shoes that were too tight from the very first step. Every further step you take in them will hurt more and more until your wounds will force you to abandon your path. You will lose your own speed and forget your own goals along the way, or even worse, you might become so numb that you won't even realize it. Seneca addressed this situation with the following thought: trying to be in too many places at once means that in reality, you are nowhere. This emphasizes that you cannot be your own self and additionally play a fictional role for somebody else. At the same time, think about it. When you always try to meet someone else's expectations, you will automatically lose yourself in the process: your habits, your time, your happiness, your character, and finally your will. All these will be second-grade things in favor of somebody else. So don't ever change yourself for affection. If it's not given to you freely, it's not worth having stand firmly in your position. Don't be like the leaves of a tree and go wherever the wind will take you. Instead, be the tree trunk deeply rooted, which doesn't give in, not even to the wildest storms. You have been gifted only one life, and you're here to write your own great story. Not to be a pen holder for someone else's history. The second behavior you need to watch out for is encountered very often in our modern society. Never let the fear of being alone guide your decisions, making choices out of fear. Especially the fear of being alone is like walking in the dark without a sense of direction. Many men nowadays in our modern world enter relationships guided by the desire of ending a life in solitude. Whether it is the fear of losing a partner or losing the chance of being with someone you admire, decisions driven by the fear of solitude may lead you to places you never intended to go. Like taking on character traits which you don't align with, or doing humiliating things you regret afterwards. Remember, a woman who respects you should never want you to humiliate yourself. It's important to recognize that being alone is different from feeling lonely. The Stoics viewed solitude as a potent tool to get to your true self and to regain strength. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you keep looking. So take time to understand and appreciate yourself and your own company this way. When you decide to be with someone, it's because they bring value to your life, not because you're afraid to be without them. Being in a relationship with someone should be a decision out of strength, not out of weakness. They should be adding more value to your life than just fixing your feeling of loneliness. So value your own company and don't let fear dictate your decisions. The third behavior should be avoided, especially in over-enthusiastic or vulnerable situations. Don't reveal everything about your personality and your past too soon. Especially not the difficult moments and times. Opening up completely about your past to someone too soon is like showing them every secret and challenge you've encountered without them working for it. You are disarming yourself voluntarily and expose yourself to someone who has not qualified herself yet to know how to deal with it now. You're vulnerable to being hurt or taken advantage of. Your past, especially the tough parts, is something very personal and should be revealed only to people who prove to you that they are worth it. It's your unique story that helped you grow through challenging times. It's not something to share with others for their amusement or judgment. The Stoics warned even back then that the wrong people will use even your smallest vulnerable spots for their advantage, and that such gossip can spread like wildfire, leaving you as wounded and alone. That is why the Stoics advocated for the principle of selective silence. This principle urges you to think at least twice about the things you will share with the world, and distinguish them thoroughly from the ones which should rather be kept in privacy. Keep your secrets safe within you. Not everyone needs to know them. Share only what is necessary, but safeguard the essential parts of your story, at least at the beginning of a relationship. That's what makes you strong, interesting, and protects you. Although sharing can feel like relief and bond, partners together don't give away your protection to someone else. Too soon sharing is a process that needs time, and trust don't rush into it. Your life story is exclusively yours, it's not meant for others as casual.
Enjoyment. The fourth behavior represents a trap many men can easily and rapidly fall into. Never push away your friends or family for someone else. Avoid distancing yourself from those who have always been there for you, solely due to your obsession with a woman. It's like cutting off branches from the tree that always nourished you with its fruits and would like to nourish you further on. Each friend and family member is like a deep root supporting your growth. If you start pushing them away, you're not only losing them, you're destroying your own support system. Plato once said people are like soil. They can either help you grow or stop your growth and cause you to wither. So it's a wise thing to keep the good soil in one's garden. When you isolate yourself from loved ones for someone else's approval, you're choosing a challenging path. Think about what would happen if the relationship with the desired woman doesn't work out at the A, but you have already pushed everyone who was close to you away. This would be a terrible situation. So reconnect with those important people, nurture your network of support, and support them as well. Your friends and family are unique. They are your roots and your wings. Be loyal to those who have always stood by your side. The fifth behavior you have to be cautious about is easy to spot from the outside but difficult to resolve from the inside. Don't allow anyone to harm your mental health or well-being. Harming your own mental health and joy for someone else is like setting your own house on fire to keep your partner warm. It doesn't make sense and is not sustainable when you neglect your own contentment to satisfy someone else. You're handing over control over your life. The Stoics emphasize the importance of taking full responsibility for one's own happiness and never handing it over to anyone else. You should be the captain of your own ship. Otherwise, you'll end up trying to only make someone else happy, while your feelings will be totally overlooked or intentionally ignored. Trust plays a big role in this situation. If a woman misuses your trust and takes it for granted, she is definitely not the real deal for you. Maybe you already had sleepless nights thinking about where she is or who she is with trying to call her only to have her not answering the phone. Or maybe you are texting her to see how she is but receive nothing back for hours or days on end. This certainly takes a hard toll on your psychological well-being and should not be the rule of a healthy relationship. So take a step back, set some boundaries, and regain your control. Your mental health and happiness are too valuable to compromise. They're not things to be traded away. Stop sacrificing your mental peace for the ruthless joy of someone else. Be the main actor in your own story, not a side character being dragged around. Guard your peace of mind. Fiercely strengthen your mental resilience and don't let anyone steal it from you. Say it to yourself daily. I'm the one in charge of my own mind. I'm not someone to be walked all over. I sincerely hope these lessons were helpful for you. These rules are just as good for men as they are for women, and they're just as good for platonic relationships as they are for romantic ones.